What if one of the most powerful philosophies for our kind of divided world wasn't written down in some ancient dusty book, but it was actually captured in a song? Today, we're diving into a simple but really profound idea about unity, one you might already know, but maybe not in the way you think.
So when we think of Rastafari, certain images probably pop into your head, right? But this quote, it asks us to look way past the surface. It suggests the real growth isn't something you can see on the outside, but what's cultivated on the inside. We're talking about love, peace, and yeah, unity.
And that universal message is exactly what we're focusing on today. This isn't going to be a super deep cultural dive. Instead, we're exploring an idea that really transcends borders and speaks to a basic human need that we all have, our need for connection.
To really understand the power behind this message, we first have to look at the problem it's trying to solve. And honestly, it's a problem I think we all feel in our daily lives. This feeling that we're living in a world that just feels fractured and divided sometimes.
And this division, it comes from so many places, doesn't it? It feels like we're constantly being sorted and put into boxes, encouraged to focus on all the little things that make us different, whether it's where we come from, what we believe, or our social standing. I mean, think about it. We spend so much energy on these labels that divide us: tribe, race, status, and they're powerful, for sure. They often define our world. But what if they're not the most fundamental truth about who we are? This philosophy asks a really simple but kind of radical question. What would happen if we stopped focusing on what separates us and started living from the truth of our shared humanity? And that right there brings us to the core solution, the central idea that just cuts through all of that division. And it's not some complex theory either. It's presented as a simple, powerful, and fundamental truth.
It's called the one family truth. And the idea is just that underneath every label, every difference, there's a much deeper connection. It's the belief that, at our core, all of us are fundamentally members of the exact same human family. It's such a simple concept, but it has these huge implications for how we see the world and, of course, each other.
And this isn't just some nice, hopeful thought. It's presented as a real, fundamental truth that we can actually choose to live by. Every human is one family. Just let that sink in for a second. If we truly believed that, really believed it, what would change? Okay, but a big idea like that is only as good as what you do with it, right? This philosophy isn't about some abstract thought experiment. It's all about translating that big idea of unity into small, tangible, everyday actions. And it can be incredibly simple, like helping a neighbor without even needing to know their name, or listening with a truly open mind, not just waiting to jump in with a judgment. And maybe the hardest one? Actively choosing love when hate feels so much easier. See? These aren't huge, grand gestures. They're small, powerful, daily choices.
So all of this brings the entire concept right back to us, to you and me. It's not about sitting around and waiting for the world to change. It's about realizing that each of us has the power to create these little pockets of unity right where we are.
I love this. It's such an empowering idea. It basically says you don't need to be a leader or an influencer to make a real difference. You don't need permission or some special title. The ability to create unity isn't for a select few. It's something inside all of us.
And that's really the core message. The only tool you need to spread unity is the one you already have, a heart. That makes this philosophy completely accessible to every single person. Our shared humanity is the only qualification we need to make a positive impact.
And so, that brings us to the final question, and this one is for you. Thinking about those small daily acts we were just talking about, how does this show up in your life? What is one way, big or small, that you actively spread unity in your own community?
Because seriously, your story matters. That simple act of kindness you did, that moment you chose to just listen, sharing that could be the one thing that inspires someone else to do the same. So share your light. Thanks for joining me for this explainer. One love.